There's a parent here, excuse me, who was looking for their child, not knowing that where their child is at or what they is up to has to do with them being with a sneaky link. So let's get into today's message. Before I get started, as always, I give thanks to the universe for guidance and assistance with these readings. So as I said before, there's a parent looking for their child, and their child is with a sneaky link. This is something that was once hidden, but is now being found out. This is all happening because this child does not know what self-love is and is looking for it in all the wrong places. This child could have moved in with a friend without even asking the permission if it was okay due to what their living arrangements is. So this is a child who feels as if though they're in a living arrangement, really, like being at home is not the best for them for whatever the reason may be. This so-called sneaky link is someone that this child met through an associate. And this person, this friend who's this child moved in without asking, this is moving in with some family. Whether this be whether this be this so-called sneaky links family, because this is a friend. This friend could be like a family member of the person that they met through this friend. And they all could go to school together. And while being there, it's being found out that this friend does drugs. And you're trying your best, or have been trying your best, to keep this child on a straight path. So you find yourself blaming yourself for this person's decisions, for this child's decisions. And it's something about someone leaving a suicide letter but didn't go forward with doing it. This could have been a step parent. This could have been a step parent. Someone missing the time, not paying attention to time because of their own things that they're going through, where time is passing them by to the point that they misses someone's birthday. It could be this child's birthday that they missed. And what I'm feeling is that it's things that took place at home involving a step parent. A lot around a step parent. Not necessarily the sole parent, the what do you call it? The biological parent, but something around this step parent where it causes this child to feel like the best thing to do is to not even be within the home. And as I said before, what was hid is now found, because you're going to find out that this child has been at a friend's house due to the living arrangements that are taking place at home. And this person that they have met through someone else, well, through an associate, this is someone that has no good intention. This person steals from stores. This person is someone that is up late at night finding themselves getting into things. This is something that this child has no idea, because this child only saw this person in school at one point. So in school, it seemed like this person was good people. But outside of that, there's going to be some things where there's going to be a realization that this person ain't so good of a person as it may seem when they were in school. Because as I said, there's someone that does drugs, and this child is going to be finding out that this person does drugs. But this person is not offering any drugs to this child. So it's like you're blaming yourself for the decisions that this child is making, when the decisions that your child is making, they aren't all bad decisions. So like the people that this child is around may be using drugs, but this child is not being offered any drugs. This child is not even trying to try any drugs. And I feel like it's based on this child's upbringing, because of what this child has seen, what this child has witnessed, and this child doesn't want to become an addict, because I feel like this is a child that witnessed this. And as I said before, this has something to do with a step parent. And this step parent is the reason why this child no longer wants to be in the home, because they feel unprotected. That's why this child misses the time of when they're supposed to be home, because they're spending the night out elsewhere. I feel like this is how it started off, but then it ended up to a point to where they just decided to move in with a friend due to the living arrangements that are taking place at home. Yeah, and like I said, it's some things that you're going to find out that you didn't know about, but for the most part, I feel like your child has been telling you things that you may felt like they were lying about, but it's a lot of things that they told you that they weren't lying about. And the only thing that I feel like you're going to end up finding out is where your child been at and who they been with. But other than that, when it comes to what they do, they're telling the truth when it comes to that. This is not a child that can be programmed. This is not a child that's a follower. This is what I'm getting. Because the person that this child is dealing with, the people that this child is around, they might not have any inspirations for themselves when it comes to being something in their life, but your child does. This message may be for someone who has a child with no siblings. And as I said before, it's things that your child knew. Not that your child knew, but you knew about your child. So what I'm really getting here is you have to get your house in order. You have to move people around so your child can feel protected, so your child can feel safe. Because this reading is not picking up on a child that's just out here wilding, being fast, acting crazy. Because this is picking up on like a young lady, a female, a young girl. That's the energy that I'm feeling. That is not in the home due to what is taking place in the home. So if you are this parent that is dealing with someone else and your child is considering this parent a step parent, and you know deep down that it's a lot going on within your household, it's time for you to clean it up, because your child comes first and is more important. So you can have an understanding and knowing of what your child is going through, what they feel. A child comes before any man. Because this is what I'm getting. This is not someone that is a follower that can be programmed, that goes along with. No, this is a child that feel like it's safe, for whatever the reason is, to be elsewhere instead of being inside the home. This is a child that is a truth teller, that is not going to flip the script for nobody. And I feel like the reason why this child got on is because they felt like that was the best decision to do, was to get on, because nothing was ever going to change. And in order for that to happen, it's going to take some time, because, like I said, for whatever reason, this child felt unprotected in this house. So even if you was to sit down and talk and say, come back home, it's not going to happen fast like that, because this child needs to feel safe. It may be too much going on, too much chaos, too much negative energy, too much. And this child may not even be being paid attention to, and looking elsewhere for that love that is not received at home. And it's best that you do this before it's too late. Because what I'm also getting here is that eventually this child is going to feel like they're going to need to come up with a way to make some money. Especially when it comes to their birthday. If they still are in the same situation around their birthday time and they don't have a way to make any income, I feel like the longer that this child is away from home, they're going to have a mentality of they got to get it by any means, even if that is a pay to play type of situation. And I feel like this would be something that would be presented from a friend that already does this, and that would be willing to put your child up on game when it comes to how they can be up on it and come up with some money too, behind doing just the same thing that they're doing. And it will be with dealing with people that are same age or not too much older. And I don't know exactly how that is, but times change. These children change. Like really on some grown up adult scheming type shit nowadays. More than ever. And all this is stemmed from not receiving that love that they would wish they would receive at home. So again, this message is for a parent that is looking for their child. And if this is your message, get it together for your child. Because as I said before, your child come first before anything. So that is the message for today. I close off this reading giving thanks again to the universe for guidance, protection, and assistance with this reading. And I will see you all in the next one.